Hi, this is Andy Olson from Lightcraft, and today we're using Luminair software. It's $99 off the App Store for an iPad, and that's what we have today. So let's just jump right into the tutorial. So I'm going to tap on my Luminair icon, and up pops up a project that's already open, but we're going to close this project. We're going to create our own project. So you'll notice in the top of the screen, you're going to have, there's a little three-line icon up there. Tap on that, and if we go to projects, the current project closes out, and this is now, these are all your different projects. It comes with a factory test that's already set up for you just to see how they did things on a factory test. But for our purposes, we're going to hit plus, and we're going to create a new project. You can see on the top left that pops up. Touch on that. Let's now name it right away. Okay, Lightcraft test, hit OK. It now populates the screen with an icon that says Lightcraft test, but since there are no settings yet that we've created, it just comes up as this big white box. So tap on that box, that opens up this project. Well, there's nothing in this project. We haven't actually programmed anything yet. We touch on that plus button, up pops. What are we going to add? What are we plussing? We're plussing either a DMX fader or a fixture or a group or a smart light. Smart light would be like a Philips Hue. It will control the Philips Hue lights. DMX group would be a group of DMX units. DMX fixture is a certain fixture that Luminair already knows about and is in its library. And then, or we can also jump to just DMX fader. But let's start with the basics. So DMX fader, I'm going to touch that. Pops this screen where it's standard color XY, which is pan and tilt for smart heads, smart lights, the pan and tilt, and then color temperature. But again, we're going to start with the very basic, which is a standard fader. Now what's happened is Luminair has now populated the left side of my screen with fader 1, and it's sitting at 0, which means that it doesn't yet have a name. It's called fader 1, which is sort of a name, I suppose. But what we'll do is we'll hold on that button, and up pops edit, delete, or copy. Let's touch edit. Let's go over to the right screen. It pops up over here. Touch on name, delete that, and let's now say, let's add a very basic light. Let's add a light that just has one DMX channel, hence DMX fader. It has one DMX channel, and let's say it's a Kino Flow Parazip. Parazip 400, you could control to one channel or two channels. Let's just say it's a one channel Parazip 400. And so now I'm going to type that in. That's going to be a Parazip 400. And say done. Close that window out with the X. Now what's happened is on the left side you'll see it says Parazip 400. And here's my fader that actually brings the intensity of that light up or down. Let's do a few more things with it though. It turns out that if we hold on for 2 or 3 seconds on the Parazip button, going to edit again, you'll notice this window on the right pops up. This tells us all the parameters of that Parazip 400. So right now it's named properly, but the style, I like to, whenever I'm using Kino Flow, use a yellow because that's sort of their signature color. So you can see its style now. It has a yellow, and you can also see now that's reflected in the fader type. And this is pretty important because as you populate your lights into Luminair, you're going to find there's no pinch and zoom in Luminair. So in order to find this light very quickly, you're going to need to scroll left or scroll right in order to find this light. So the fact that it's yellow tells me right away it's Kino Flow, and they'll be able to find it with the name the Parazip 400. Okay, so we can also look at things like value, which is right now it's full volume. We can tap on medium. We can put the light right at 50% or 128. We can turn it off. We can go to full with it if we want to do that. Then we can also go to the FX. You'll now see it says FX type none. If we tap on that none with the right arrow, we can oscillate that light. You can see on the left, and it's now oscillating. There are parameters for oscillating on the right-hand window. You can see different types of different patterns that it would follow in terms of how it oscillates, which is sort of a square sine wave here, just turning on and off. You can say how much it's doing it in terms of output. So in order to get out of that, you tap back out and then say effects none. And then also at the bottom here you can see where we have either master, a solo, or a flash option. And that is that if I touch on flash, you'll notice that the flash is blinking on and off. That light now in your rig or in your setup is going to be flashing. It's a way to find it. It's a way to make sure your DMX channel is working. It's a way to just to see if the light's working properly. Okay, now what we've done is we've created one light, up here is at 400, and we've colored it red and named it properly. And we're able to now fade that light up and down.